Hi, welcome back and congratulations. This is your first milestone of the course. We have completed HTML and now we are moving on to the next technology that we can use in a front end, which is CSS. So CSS, as I told you in the intro video, stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And again, as I told you, you do not need to remember this because you will never use this, right? And it is used for the styling of a web page, and you must have been so used to hearing this until now because I say this a lot. But again, just for the introduction, CSS is the thing that you will use for the styling of your web page, and all the styling will come from CSS or Bootstrap, which is a child of CSS, you could say for now. Okay, so what? So there's a standard order that we follow when we are writing CSS, right? Now, there are a lot of properties that we will have to change for a thing, for an element, whenever we are styling it. Now, if we had some, let's go to our standard example yet again, this Facebook page. Now, we might have to style a lot of things differently, but before that, you could imagine that, let's imagine this specific heading right here, right? This specific heading could have loads of properties. You could change its color, you could change its font size, you could change its decoration. Decoration is basically that's getting underline when we are hovering over it and all those things. So you could have a lot of properties for a single thing that you might want to change to make it properly styled, right? You might want to put a border around something, or for text you might want to change its font color, or you simply might want to change its font to something that looks more funky and according to your website. So all of that is done through CSS, and the standard order you will follow is you will first select the element and then you will apply these properties. And what do I mean by that? If I go to VS Code right here and I make a new file by the name of CSS intro.html, right? If I make my standard template in this, I'm just making something really fast. This is for the intro. You might choose to skip this, and that's perfectly fine. I'll not change anything. I'll just do this H1. I'll simply say hello. I'll do a paragraph, and I'll do a lower 100. And then I'll just put an A tag saying to with href as https. Again, what I'm putting on this web page is not significant for now. I'm just making some sample thing to show you how CSS is done. What's the standard order that I'm talking about? So I've just made a sample page right here. If I open this up, this is what I get, right? So this is what we have from this sample page right here. So now we want to apply our style to something. And how we will do that is, we'll go here. This is a separate file. You would normally do this, but I'll just write my style in here for now. And don't get confused by what this style is equal to is. I mean, it's pretty evident that I'm gonna write my style inside of this, but this is not what we do. We usually make a separate CSS file and then we link that, and I'll cover the 3 methods that you could put styles to a element in the next video, so don't worry about that. For now, just see this. Now this is a sample syntax that you would have in any style, right? Ignore everything that is above this, ignore the style is equal to end. So you just see that everything I write between these 2 quotes will be the style for this particular paragraph, right? So here I could do something like color red. Now again, this is just inside the paragraph, so that's why the paragraphs get selected by default. This is something simple, right? If I take this back, again, this might be a little confusing right now because you do not know where styles are usually written, and we'll see that in the next video, but just keep this in mind. And when we see the different types of ways you could write styles, I mean the different places where you could write styles, this will immediately click to you what I was saying right now. Okay, so here we're writing color red inside the P. What color is basically is the text color, and we'll cover these properties too. Just for now, this is for some demo. So this is inside the paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag gets selected by default. But usually what we would have is a separate CSS file right here. And so in that CSS file, you would have to have a way to actually access the element that you want to style in the HTML file in here, right? So how you would do that is, you would do something like P, then this, then you would write your property name, and then you write your property value. Now this is just thing that I'm writing. You won't actually write the word property name here. This is what you would have, and I mean this is not inside quotes again, inside these brackets too. What you would have is something like color red, and then you would have a semicolon. All the properties are separated by a semicolon, and again we'll get back to this later. So the main thing that I'm showing you here is we selected an element on the page, and then we started a block. This is known as a block in all the programming languages. Anything between two sets of curly braces is a block, right? So we'd select an element using a selector. This is known as a selector, what we're writing up here. Then we'd give the, and I'll comment this. Okay, so it isn't saved as a CSS file for now. You could forget the comment. So this is the property name, and then you give it a value by this. Now different properties could have different value. Of course, color is red, and font size will be an integer. So that's not significant right now. We just have to see that this is a selector, this is a property name, and this is a property value. And this is the kind of thing that you would have for every CSS property. You would first select the thing that you want to apply the style to, then you write your property name in here, and then you write your property value. And that's really good about CSS, that you can see that text color is represented by color. Now font size would be represented by font size. So everything is quite similar to English, and it's hence remembering the basic things becomes really easy. So you see, that's how it goes. And px is just pixels, forget about that. And one more thing that I'm showing you here, that once I selected the paragraph, all the styles that I want to apply to it will come inside these sets of braces only. I do not need to select paragraph over and over again if I want to apply multiple styles. This is not something you would do. You would just simply select paragraph once, and then you write all your styles in here. So that's how simple CSS is. And again, we'll see the linking of these two files and the ways you can write styles. And the way this is just a single way, and this is what you'll always follow. But there are multiple places where you could write this code. One example is this, right? So we'll see all of this in the next video. For now, all I wanted to show you was that you would always have a selector and the property name and a property value, right? So that's it for this. And now the next thing that I want to show you is a really important and useful tool that we are going to use for everything from now on in front end, from CSS, and then we'd go to JavaScript, and then we'd use it in the backend section too. We'd use it a lot, and especially in debugging any errors or unexpected behavior of your page, we'd use the Chrome inspector a lot. So what is the Chrome inspector? I've already shown you what that is in one of the previous videos, where I use this inspect to view this HTML code right here. You must remember that I used this in the last video itself to show you all the tags that were being used on this Facebook page right here. However, this is not the only thing that is used for. You can see we have a lot of tabs up here: elements, console, sources, network, performance, memory, application, security audits. And the two you'll use the most is this and this, right? So this is something that you'll use for the HTML. And on the right, this is what I want you to see right now. We have all the styles, and this is a sample of what you would have. Just selected something here. Forget this weird selection. This is something we'd study later. But you can just see that this is a selector. This is selecting something on the page. And they've given up a font family inherit. Again, you don't know what that is. So again, you don't know what font family inherit means. But font family is a property and inherit is the value that is given to that property, right? Div, they're selecting a tag right here and they're giving you a display of block. You don't know what display block means, that's fine, but display is again a property name and block is the property value. So this is the tool that we can use a lot. First thing, we can see all the styles that have been applied to a particular thing on the web page by this. If I click on this, it'll show me, it'll highlight all the area. If I hover over this, it'll highlight all the area that is represented by this div. You can see something gets highlighted up here. I'll choose something smaller. Right, so I've selected something smaller, and you can see when I click on this, or when I hover over this in the code, it highlights the portion on the web page, which is this. Notice this portion that is represented by that code. So the first thing you can see with the inspector is that you can see what code is comprising which element on the page, right? So that's the one of the important things. And the second is this tool right here. So you can press on this, and now when you go on the page, whichever element you hover on will get selected. And you can see that if I click on this, its HTML gets selected down here. So this is something you can use too, and you'll see its use when we have to debug something, or if we are getting an unexpected behavior out of something on a web page. So yeah, we got this, and now we can inspect what styles it has and all of those things. And so this is the Chrome inspector, and this is how it's used. But you will see why it is used a little later when we actually have to fix problems of our code. That's what debugging means to someone who's new at coding. Debugging is simply solving problems of your own code, right? So that's for this video. We'll start writing actual CSS in the next one, and I'll see you in that. Bye.